decided in this case to put the pool in this area, square to the front of the house, right in front of the entertainment area, so you can walk from your entertainment area out into the pool site. When putting in your pool, the minimum distance is 1 meter away from your house. When positioning your pool, we're going to use Pythagoras' theory and we're going to get square. Firstly, we are going to use our start off peg and we're going to go 8 meters to the other peg. Right, that's 8 meters. Now we're going to put a 4 meter peg in along this line. So this is 4 meters, 3 meters, and where it cuts at 5 meters, that's our square. Now get 3 meters from your start off peg and draw a line along the ground. There, that's your 3 meters. Take 5 meters from your 4 meter peg and where it intersects your 3 meter mark, that is your square. We're going to do the width of the pool. We've got our square peg from the start off peg. Measure 3.8 meters. And that's our mark there. Now we're at the opposite side. And again the width, 3.8 meters. There's 3.8 meters. Take an 8 meter line from your bottom peg. There's your 3.8 meter mark and run your 8 meter line along it, and at 8 meters you put your peg. Run your tape around all your pegs so you can get an idea of what your pool is going to look like in relationship to your house. We've measured the size of the pool, but the hole needs to be 500 half meter wider. There's 500 wider. And it also needs to be 500 longer. So there's the corner of our hole. This hole was dug in a few hours with a TLB. Once you finish digging your hole, put your 100 millimeters of river sand back in and compact it as well as you can. This compacting process is very important so that you don't have problems in the future with your pool sinking or becoming unlevel. Leveling the pool and installing the pool, you need very few simple tools. You need at least 4 wooden pegs that you can buy at any hardware center. You need building line, masking tape, spirit level, and a leveling hose with water in it. And of course the measuring tape. What we are going to determine now is the height of your swimming pool. Here in this case we have a nice set of stairs. and we would like the level of the pool, or the height of the pool, to be at this mark. So we put masking tape there and make a mark at the level we would like the pool to be at. But keep in mind, the pool will be at this level, but the end of your pavers will be a little bit lower so that the excess water can run away from the pool outwards. So we are going to transfer this level now, which is the height of your swimming pool, to the wooden pegs you had placed at the deep end of your pool. Use the level hose now and move it until the water settles at your mark. Once it is settled at the mark you have determined for the height of your swimming pool, mark it at the pool side. We are now going to take the level that we took from the stairs to the deep end and transfer it across to the shallow end. Now he has the mark there, so he's going to move the pipe up and down on the mark, and this side we are going to keep it still so that the water inside the pipe can show us where that exact level is. When installing a Missouri swimming pool, the depth is 1 meter to 1.6. After you have dug the initial hole, you're going to dig it 100 millimeters deeper so that you can fill it with river sand. That 100 millimeter, and then you compact it with the compactor. Now we've got the marks on both sides with the pegs, the mark on this side and the other side. Then you put your building line on the one side and the other side stretching across the hole. Then we can determine the depth of the swimming pool. The pool is 8 meters in length, so we want to stay 500 millimeters away from the actual wall of the hole. So there's the 500 millimeter mark. I'll mark it. And then we take a wooden peg and put it there, because I know that this is where the pool is going to start when we put it inside the hole. So from the peg in the shallow end, we now measure 8 meters to the deep end and place the peg there. Now in the deep end, measure 1.6 meters down from the building line and make a mark on your peg. Similarly in the shallow end, measure 1 meter down and make a mark on your peg. Now transfer your building line from the top to your bottom marks on your pegs. You can now tell by looking at your building line where the high and low areas of your river sand bedding are. The next step in the process is to mix your screeding. River sand is your best option, but building or plaster sand can be used. In wet areas, mix 1 bag of cement with 8 wheelbarrows of sand. Right, we've mixed the river sand now 1 to 8. That's for the screeding. So now we're going to take the river sand and are going to screed the floor. Remember that this method of using cement in your screeding is only necessary in very wet areas and areas with high water tables. For places like Gauteng, all you really need to use is good river sand. He's now leveling the floor to the height of the building line using the screed sand. We are now leveling across the pool using a spirit level down the slope of the building line. First we level the middle, then we move across to the left side, then to the right. You now use your spirit level and work your way down the slope of the building line all the way down the center of the pool. Once you have finished the center line, you can use it as a guide and move out to one of the sides of the pool. This leveling process is very important in order to get great results for your installation. Once your leveling is finished, you can take the pegs out and you can drop in your pool. Before your pool arrives, make sure that your access routes are all clear and that everyone is ready for the unloading and installation. As you can see in this example, unloading an 8-meter pool is no easy task. Make sure you have plenty of people and guys underneath the pool. What you want to avoid is twisting the pool, which could result in cracking, so you'd like to try and keep the pool as level and as straight as possible while carrying it. I know it's difficult, but try to disturb the screeding as little as possible when dropping the pool in. Also, when putting the pool down, make sure everybody puts it down together. Okay, we want the swimming pool to be 2 meters away from the stairs. So we measure from the inside of the swimming pool to the stairs. If you need to move the pool to adjust its positioning, make sure you lift it up and move it and not drag it over the screed. We are now going to use the leveling hose again to level the pool. We always start at the weir, at the deep end, and move around the swimming pool. Once your pool is in the right position, the very first part of the leveling process will be to make sure that the deep end and the shallow end are at the same level. If not, you can lift the pool and keep it up by putting spades underneath the fiberglass piping you'll find running across the middle of the pool. Then you can use a long piece of wood or a straight edge such as a level and take some of the sand out or put some sand in, whatever is necessary. Just keep in mind, prior to the previous step of leveling the deep and the shallow ends, make sure that you level both sides of the deep end. Once you have then leveled the deep and the shallow end, you can move around at 1 meter intervals and level the entire pool. Now, once we have checked the pool is level, we're going to recheck the distance from the pool to the steps to make sure that it didn't shift and it's still 2 meters away. Now that we have checked the pool's levels and made sure that it's level, we're going to start at the deep end and put some river sand there at the back to make sure that the wind doesn't blow the pool. Then we're going to put some water in the pool so that it pushes it down and settles it into the bed. You will start now by putting 300 millimeters of water into the deep end. Remember to consistently check your levels as the water is filling up, as the pool will start to settle into the bed. Once your 300 millimeters of water is in the deep end, backfill under the curvature by hand with river sand only. Then you can fill your pool up to 1/4 with water and backfill, and then continue up with the water to half and then backfill. Your stairs, you will find, will possibly hang over, so you'll need to lift them up by placing stakes under the ridge. This way, as you are filling up, you can keep those stairs level, and just remember to continually check your levels. Right, now to attach the weir and the light to the swimming pool. The holes would have been cut for you already and drilled. You have to use proper silicone and proper PVC cement, which also will be provided with the kit that comes with the swimming pool. Right, so you have your weir, which attaches to the outside of the deep end. Comes with two brackets, one at the top and one at the bottom. They fit like that. The silicone on all sides of the surfaces. Then your rubber seal goes on. Your rubber seal could be black or white depending on which kit you get. Then you put a lot of silicone on the face, place your rubber in there, and then that goes on the inside of the pool. Use self-tapping stainless screws which will come with the kit, and then your outside piece just clips on over your screws. Now the light, it's got an extension. You have to make sure that it's long enough so that if you have to replace the bulb, you pull it up out of the water, replace the bulb, and then fold it back inside and clip it into the pool. Now the light gets attached in a similar way as the weir. It goes on the outside of the pool. You have a rubber seal, put your silicone around the surface, put your silicone on both sides of the rubber seal, and then your cover plate goes on there, and of course with the stainless steel self-tapping screws that comes with the kit, it goes onto the outside of the pool, and then your light clips in from the inside of the pool. And the return, we also call it an aim flow, and there's a pre-drilled hole for you already. You will apply again silicone to the seals on both sides, silicone around there. You will push it from the inside of the pool